There we go. Good evening, YouTube. I'm Zachary Fowler, and I am home from the 30-Day Survival Challenge Canadian Rockies with Greg Ovens. What an adventure we had, and what an awesome time. I can't wait to share it with you guys. So stay tuned for today's episode. I got some clips for you, or some pictures of the adventure to tease you and get you all excited about it. I got some other fun things going on too that I'm going to start doing with this. Try to do this Wednesday Night Live as it builds up until it becomes the Wednesday Night Live Bushcraft Show. And we will make this into something a little bit more than just some regular boring old live stream. The ability to share video clips with you so I can pre-record unboxings of stuff that isn't worth making like an entire video on, or the video will come later, but it may be coming way later because I have so much going on. So that way I can share stuff with you sooner. I got some fun little, skits, different things. We can do a little bit of slingshots in history. I'm going to call one of the segments, like news, what are my friends up to on YouTube, and what I've been watching on YouTube, little prizes, giveaways, as people keep sending me so much stuff from the different sponsors and different people. And we want to be able to share it with you. And so we're going to go for about, whatever it takes to get through the fun stuff I have piled up to share with you today. And then we will answer questions, we'll talk, and we will probably be about a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes, considering how unorganized I am now that I just got home. Because I kind of dreamt this up while I was out there, instead of waiting till this fall when we put the whole bushcraft studio together and we start doing that kind of like a late night thing going on with a whole desk made out of sticks and everything. But anyways, I ramble. Let's get on to, the first segment here of what I had in mind for you guys, which is, I have no idea. Let's see. What was it? What are you going to call this first one? I'm going to call this first segment, things you might have missed. I got these like intros that I've been working on for each of these too. Things you might have missed because you're not following me on Instagram. I do a lot of fun stuff there, and just to make shorter content that I don't have to get so polished and so just carried away with on YouTube here, as I do with all my YouTube videos, just like this, getting really carried away with trying to make little intros like for each one. I'll probably have an intro for this at some point as I go on down the road. This is a little video I made for Instagram about not being a poser when you got a brand new pair of pants. So you don't look like a poser when you buy a brand new pair of fall ravens? Break them in first. Hit it! There you go, that's how you break in a pair of pants. Alright, so I actually sent that to Fall Raven and they loved it. They reposted it and stuff. I didn't want to go out to the 30-Day Survival Challenge and go and find that my pants were clean in the first video, so I had Chris drag me through the mud. And the funny thing is that the pants didn't even get all that dirty. So the next day, I dried them out and I shook them out, and there was no grass stains. Maybe because they were green and brown, the grass stains didn't show up or something. But there really wasn't any to speak of, and the dirt that was in them didn't make them look all that dirty. But I went on the 30-Day Survival Challenge with Greg, and we spent a lot of time up in the trees. And man, were they dirty after that! They are so dirty right now. The pitch and stuff that got on them, there's so much pitch on them. I'll give you a little teaser of that right now. I'm not going to expose too much. We had a really good time. We made it the whole 30 days. We saw bears. We saw trout. We ate trout. We ate gopher. We had a blast. And it was probably one of the most difficult things I've done so far as survival is concerned, because the conditions and the summertime, it's kind of a lean time of year. It's not the best time of year to go, and because the blueberries, things like that, weren't ripe. Then it's not a hunting time of year, so there's things that are open all year round, but that's like the gophers, which are like gray squirrels. They're not very big. You'll see them when the series comes up. I don't have any teasers of that for you. Here is a little slideshow of, here we go. There's a little slideshow of some pics. It's kind of like close-ups or blurry things, so you can't, not giving too much away on you. And of course, it's not going to work right. It's just showing 3 pics over and over. I haven't figured out the software altogether, but there you go. It's some interesting teaser of what in the world is going on there, huh? Let's see, get back to the... This is a lot harder than I thought it would be here, this setup for the whole thing. So as you can see, there's a little tease of some of the crazy stuff we got up to. We were not idle, and that makes it hard too, because we want to do a lot of stuff, and we did pretty well. You'll see if you start purchasing stuff from my website soon, the cards that will be coming out with the purchases of the new 30-day survival challenge cards. So you're going to see how many fish we caught. Greg, he caught, I think in the end it was 44 fish, and I caught 33 fish. And basically it turned out very different than the last one. Like in Texas, we ate really well, like from the beginning right on through. This, as things went on, it progressively got more interesting. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So instead of last time where we moved to another location at the end and it kind of like slowed down and the pace just became kind of the same thing but a little bit different every day. Well, this, we kind of accelerated as we went. Everything became more interesting, more building, more making stuff, more adventure, and more just wildness happening. So I am going to hold off on airing this until we're going to air the new 30-day survival challenge Canadian Rockies starting in October, and it's going to air through and end at Christmas time. I need like 2 months to do some editing because I'm going to manage Greg's edit. It should be interesting so that it won't just be like last time. We got we'll have 2 very unique, very special video series. Greg's new channel we're going to launch for him, so that the whole 30-day survival challenge that ends up on his channel will be as unique, and the edits will be controlled by me, containing some of my drone footage, but his filming and his parts of his adventure. He split off to go and spend time with the camera alone, and I've seen a couple of clips of the footage of the things that he was doing when I wasn't around. I think you guys are gonna like it. So yeah, so that's exciting. I came back safely. I didn't get eaten by a bear, and we did get to see a bear, and man, big bear. And I'm not talking when we watched the first episode. Greg takes me to see a bear at a preserve the first day, and so that I could see a grizzly up close. But the one that we saw out in the wild was like bigger than that one, like 900-pound bear. It was pretty insane. Yeah, and I'm sorry, it is a little bit of a long wait for the new videos, but it will be worth it because during the time while you're waiting, I'm going to put out some new videos. We're going to keep working on this, doing this Wednesday night live, even though the first one came out here on Thursday night. And I'm going to do some Trick Shot Tuesday videos. I'm going to do that. I want to shoot a slingshot underwater. I don't know if it's going to work. What do you guys think? I think under certain circumstances, maybe with the right band set, I might be able to shoot a slingshot, but I'm going to suspend balloon animals, like pool balloon animals, under the water, and like the little small fishes and things, and we're going to see if we can shoot a slingshot underwater for a Trick Shot Tuesday episode. And if it doesn't shoot regular steel to pop them, I got some cool darts and stuff off Amazon that we'll experiment with, and hopefully we don't put a hole in the pool while doing so. So that should be fun. A pocket shot versus slingshot video, maybe even a Daisy Red Ryder versus modern PCP air rifle. I think that one will be a really fun video. I had such a blast out there this time with my my Krell Puncher, the 25 caliber air rifle. I got from Side Shot this really cool. Let me grab it. I'll show it to you right now. It's right. Can I reach it? There we go. I got this cool jig from them that they sent me before I left, and this is a Side Shot, and it is basically, you put your camera here. This mounts right onto the scope of your rifle. There's a rig that goes on the scope permanently, so you slide it on, you can lock it off, and you can look through your scope regular-wise, and then your camera records on the side of here. They also have one that has a GoPro that goes on here, or your phone, and they sent me the phone one, and so I was able to look down my scope without any digital looking. Like, that's my biggest problem with the 30-day survival challenge in Texas, and why I missed a couple things at times. I had that big heavy rifle, and then I'm looking through a digital scope which has some kind of lag time, so as you're swinging around and you pull the trigger, when your crosshairs are dead on something, like it's still, the crosshairs are still dragging and the lag in the video. So this does away with that. It doesn't. I suppose you could mount it right to a straight up night vision camera too. I don't have one right now, so I haven't, outside of the digital one, for which really stinks on the 50 caliber. So this will give me an opportunity to film and do some other stuff and get the edits prepared, and that way while they're airing too, I can get back out there and we can start getting caught up and having less big giant spaces between videos, and I'll be able to drop each video consistently, 3 videos a week until the whole 30-day survival challenge airs. It'll be awesome. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love it. So what else we got here for you today? I had some other fun ideas. I want to do some giveaways and stuff. Tonight's, I didn't really solidify it. Like some of the stuff that people send. So, tell you what, leave it in the comments below. What is my favorite fire starter and the company that makes it? And next week, I will do a drawing during the live for a $100 Amazon gift card. So for the winner, random winner that we find in the comments below, not in the comments now, but come back and go out and leave it in the regular comments, not the live stream comments. My favorite fire starter of all time that you've seen in my videos. If you get it right, I will pick one random winner next week and give you guys a $100 Amazon gift card. And then we'll try to come up with some sort of a trivia each week to add a trivia segment. What I want to do is, as I build and get used to this whole live thing, once we finish that bushcraft studio, which is on the other side of this wall in my barn, then we'll have a full-on setup with chairs and guests and a desk and unboxings and a breaking stuff that people sent me to see how tough it is. Just all kinds of different segments to a full-on like late night show, basically. So for now, this is like the starter of it, Wednesday Night Live. Let's see. Let's try a new segment here. We got this one. All right, so I just called it Slingshots in History. It has nothing to do necessarily with the history of any sort of slingshots or anything, but I thought that sounded good, And I mean, we could talk about the history of whatever is about to happen with the little slingshot segment here. And so I noticed lately when I got back that it's been trending. Where is the screen share thing? Screen share. There we go. That screen share. That as I'm watching YouTube videos. This is almost another segment here. YouTube, my YouTube history here and what I watch. But people have been kicking off bottle caps from soda bottles here because of Jason Statham kicking off a soda bottle cap right here. And so I thought, well, I could do that. I thought I could do that even better and do my own special slingshot bottle cap. Boom. So that didn't take me very many shots. Actually, I set it up and I managed to spin around. I think it only took me like 4 shots. I picked up the rubber bouncy balls and my Hornet Slingshot, history-wise, the Hornet Slingshot is the one that we sell that's my signature slingshot right now that I designed. I made it with a protractor and a pair of skis, and I made a slingshot out of a ski, and it was in my EDC Mile High pocket dump video. And then I also used it, I use it now with the sleeved rubber tubes, and I use it for shooting cans out of the air all the time. And I use my Sparrow for my target shooting. So with my longer bands that you guys see me shoot a lot and things. And Simple Shot and I have been talking, Nathan Masters, about doing a signature one. We were talking about doing the Hornet into a signature slingshot that would be made out of infused plastic and it would be sold before Christmas. But now we're switching maybe more towards the Sparrow, which is the one I'd like to see put into production. It might be modified a little bit so that there's a thumb spot and things like that. But hopefully we can get that out in time by Christmas, if not sometime soon after. It takes a lot to put a new product into the world. And unless it's Widobo, which we managed to do in a couple of weeks from the time that the Wooded Beardsman and I hung out and I put it all together. And we're hoping to link that up and start doing some other spices with some other characters that are out there and my other YouTube friends. And for those of you that know me, we've kind of been trying to talk about working together. We worked together, the Wooden Beardsman and I, and we want to do some other collaborations with some other with some other YouTubers here. And if we go to my YouTube channel, you can see them right here on my YouTube channel. We got the Wooded Beardsman, Bob Hansler, Ace Video, and Best Damn EDC. And lately, they have been doing stuff and things. I have what it's called TubeBuddy, so I can actually follow my friends and see if I'm doing better than them as far as subscribers and stuff are concerned. But I love these guys. That's why we've been trying to work together. We've been talking with Best Damn EDC about doing gear videos based on the gear that we've been using. And he does amazing videos, fun videos about everyday carry, but also unique things about everyday carry. Like he went to his buddy's workshop and took his pen and modified it, made it work better, and did a really unique sandblasting and metalworking things to change the colors of the metal and pattern design on it and stuff. And he's always coming up with these creative different videos, like instead of just a key thing, but with customized, almost like a Swiss Army knife, building it yourself, plus it has your keys in it. That's like the keister, but a real keister, not something prison wise. But anyways, Ace always fun to watch his videos. He did a Wadobo one while I was gone right here, wild mountain trout. And the sales of Wadobo went through the roof because we were airing the Wilderness Living Challenge Maine with the Wooded Beardsman and I at the same time. So just before I left, and ever since I've been gone, we have been selling so much Wadobo because everybody wants to try it now. And we're putting together some samplers too. For those of you that joined us for the Kickstarter, you will be getting your Wadobo and your backpacks that you purchased and your other gear from the Kickstarter starting in like this week, or they're shipping out and stuff. And Bob Hansler and I, we really didn't get to do a lot when I was out on his property for the 30-day survival challenge, but he is always fun to watch. This video right here, Bitter Oranges, that was based on my during the 30-day survival challenge. I said that I was eating the bitter ornamental oranges that we had found, and I cooked them and made them a little more sugars come out and made it more palatable. These ones are slightly different than the ones we had during the 30-day survival challenge. And so Hansler tried it and decided that I was punking him, but I wasn't. They were just a slightly different orange, and they were better once you cooked them. It seemed to like have a little more sugars. These are pretty huge. So the ones I had were the size of like grapes, and there wasn't. So even if they were bitter, it wasn't nearly as bad as a full-size giant bitter orange. So he's been working real hard trying to get his eyesight back geared up and to make good, fun videos as well. And the Wooded Beardsman, he has been up to some pretty neat stuff. He's been working on a pond series. For those of you that follow the Wooded Beardsman after our Wilderness Living Challenge, he's been working on this great series, and I was watching this today and putting new fish in it, and it is a really neat aspect, something that I've always liked. And I want to do here at my place at some point. When I lived up in the woods, I wanted so badly to have a trout pond. And it was like watching the Wooded Beardsman and living vicariously through him has gotten me thinking about that again. Like if I could somehow get out there in my backyard. I have a lot of water out there, and I've been getting ready to working on some trenches, trying to get the drain in the backyard. Because in the spring and the fall, it's so wet. I can't mow. I can't even shoot my slingshot in the yard very easily, and I want to be out there shooting as much as possible before winter comes and after winter is gone. So I don't want to have to be out there with mud boots just to be in my beautiful yard. So I was thinking like some sort of a trout pond, and he's been experiencing some ups and downs with it. Maybe it's not deep enough, and they're struggling with the temperature of the water and algae bloom, and I think it's actually a really neat series, pretty neat stuff compared to, it's doing something different, which is so much fun when we don't just do the same thing all the time, right? I kind of like that. So, what else do I have? Oh, and yesterday, I'll put the link in the description right after this. I forgot to add it before this. The yesterday Bear Bowl and Grimworks teamed up and launched a new product. And I'll play the little video for you right now, and the link will be down in the description below right after this for the Kickstarter, so you can get one if you want one. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet because it came out while I was gone, and I'll be doing like a little something in some video within a couple weeks here. I'm going to do a catch and cook blueberry pie because it's blueberry picking season coming up in a couple days. I've already seen a couple ripe ones while I was out fishing the other day, so I'll probably do a little cooking maybe on the side while I'm cooking my blueberry pie. I'd give that thing a try. Let's see if we can get it to play for you.
Hey there, I'm Brick Thunderchest, and you might remember me from Bare Minimum. But today I'm here to introduce you to a brand new product line made in collaboration with our friends over there at Grim Workshop. We call it Grim and Barrett. That's clever, I know. You see, this new product line is all about innovation, and I think it's the most innovative thing to happen to your cookpot since the Bear Bowl. Bare Minimum first met success on Kickstarter when they launched the incredible folding Bear Bowl cookpot. It really changed the way that we think of cookpots forever. This eventually led them to pitching to the sharks on Shark Tank Season 10. Grimm Workshop, masters of all gear, flat and metal, have created over 100 unique everyday carry tools. They've launched 3 successful Kickstarter campaigns with their credit card-sized game-changing survival kits. So what happens after months of prototyping and intense collaboration? Well, a little baby was born. But this little baby was actually 3 tool sets that can be neatly stored in your folded-up bare bowl cookpot. Naturally, first, we thought of a stove to go with your cookpot. I know, genius. The bare bones stove packs perfectly flat. So how flat is it? Well, it's about 1 millimeter flat. And that's about 1,000,000 times flatter than your conventional stove. How do I know? I don't.
The bare bones stove slips together in seconds, and then you add some wood as fuel.
Can you find wood in the woods? I can.
Our stove works with wood in a pinch, but it's also a great fit with an alcohol burner or solid fuel cubes. You can use it as a standalone grill, or a pot stand for your bare bowl, or even other pots. We've provided 5 skewers for extra cooking space and options, in case you need to skewer anything. Another tool we were asked for was a lid. We're proud to bring you a lid that doubles as a griddle. It's a lid, it's a griddle. We call it the Liddle. A lid is a great way to help keep the heat in and make your bare bowl that much more efficient.
How much more efficient, you ask? Well, scientists tell me it's about 34.23% more efficient. Is that good? I have no idea. But I know a lid with a multi-purpose is just plain awesome.
Dude, my lid's multi-purpose too.
Dude!
Bear swipe! Now you're out cooking food like a civilized person and you grab it with your hands.
Not on my watch, you old prospector.
The eating cart is packed full of tools and utensils you just might need outdoors. A standard spatula. A spatula peeler slicer with a serrated edge. It's like having 1,000,000 tiny knives. A large fork, a spatula with a can opener, and a bottle opener. And that's not all. When you put the tools together, you create 2 sets of tongs. That's 10 tools in the eating cart. All the new tools are made from hardened surgical stainless steel, just like me. They're built to last, and each new component is set in this 4x5.5 plate that matches exactly to the baby bear bowl and slips right under the strap. So you can pack it all with you without taking up any more space.
So whether you're going backpacking or to a weird hippie festival, I don't know, maybe you're prepping for the zombie apocalypse, either way, you can take everything you need to cook and boil right along with you.
Got it. Playing around with the new Grimm survival card slingshot they sent me. I'm using them for shooting cans out of the air. Bolt. Boom.
I didn't even get a chance.
3. Oh, 3. Grab another one. Let's try again. How many can I get in a row with this thing? This is fun. Oh, 4. Keep on going. Oh, I missed. I've modified the Grimm slingshot here, and I was able to cut the tubes so they're not looped anymore. They're just a single with this quick release setup they have for putting on new tubes on it. It made it very cleverly fast adjustable. Okay, got a couple cans. Let's take them out. Yep. This is fun. I think I'm gonna put some flat bands on it and stick it in my wallet. Yeehaw. I didn't mean to play that one straight off. The link's in the description below for the Kickstarter, for the Bear Bowl, and they even gave me a link so that if you guys use that link, I get a little kickback from that, which is pretty darn cool, because we do a lot of work together. As you see the Grimm card, that was another Instagram video. Link is in the description as well, all the way at the bottom every single time for my Instagram, and I think right on the front of the YouTube page you can hit it, or if you can find it somewhere if you just Fowler there on Instagram. I think it's like Fowler alone or something, but there's links everywhere for all that stuff. So hit me up there as well, so you can also, because YouTube doesn't always notify you for my YouTube videos, but I always put up a cover photo with a little YouTube symbol in it so that you know that a new video is coming out. So that's a good way to stay in touch and for us to be able to be like, say hey more often than not. With the Instagram, I love that that bear that, what do they call that? The Grim and Barrett, and I like their videos, Bare, because Bare Minimum, because the whole, whether you're going to a hippie festival or not. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the segments I had lined up for today, and I think we can get into some Q&A now. Oh, if I can get the screen in the right place so I can read your comments. This OBS thing gives me the ability to do all kinds of very unique things in a very confusing way that I have not fully figured out how to do just yet. So, there we go. Now I can see everybody's comments and questions, and we can talk. I'm going to move that over here, over here. I need a like studio technician so that we can really get this polished, I think, when it comes to the doing this. Let me know on what you guys think in the regular comments, down below, not the live stream comments. Do you like this? Should we keep trying to work at it and get this refined so that I can do a better job of this, so we can video chat, so we could chat and answer questions, as well as be able to share better clips with you. Hopefully next week I'll have a little more polished with the segment entries and then the video clips, and bringing those in to the this whole live stream a little more seamlessly each time. I could totally be Brick Thunder Chest. Yeah, that's just so funny, that the whole character and how they played that. What's Instagram? I'm not laughing at you because maybe you don't know, or maybe you do, or maybe you're just making fun of it. Either way, it's kind of funny. I'm actually more surprised now when I run into people that don't know how to use phones, like smartphones, Like, oh yeah, I'll just, I called about a boat this week. I want to buy a boat, and so I can go and set my 5 traps out, because I've just been borrowing my old boss's boat there that I rebuilt for the boatyard. And when we did the Wilderness Living Challenge, now I'm back, I wanted to buy one. And I was like, yeah, I'll just text you. Well, you can just text me some more pictures of the inside of the boat, because the guy, he took all these pictures of the boat, but like, they're like, here's the back of the boat, and like the back of the boat's this big, and he's got like a picture like this big that's like the corner of the back of the boat, and another one that's like upside down. The boat's on the trailer, but the picture's upside down somehow. And I was like, I just want to see the inside of the cockpit, like the inside of the boat, so I know it's in there. Oh, well, that wasn't up there. That wasn't one of the pictures. I'm like, yeah, you can just text me the photos. He's like, can I email them to you? And I'm like, okay, I'll text you my email. He's like, oh, this is a regular phone. I don't have that capability. I want to do an Alaskan survival. Somebody's asking here, will I ever do an Alaskan survival? I talked to Ivan Kilcher from Alaska: The Last Frontier on the Discovery, or Braving Alaska. I don't know, one of those Alaska shows. I get them all confused because they sound too similar title-wise. But the Kilcher family's been living up there for a long time, and they do all kinds of really fun stuff. And Ivan and I kind of hit it off, we talked again recently, I don't know, 3 months ago, about his YouTube and starting that up so that once he's done with the show, he could be, keep him busy with that, because he likes doing it. And so I advised him on cameras and, best practices and things like that for building your YouTube channel. And so we talked about doing a 7-day wilderness living challenge, or a 30-day one in 2020 up there in Alaska, which would be a blast. I don't see you ever talking about keeping the body clean or bathroom. It's kind of hard. You know what? You're right, and I haven't, and we avoided kind of the keeping body clean and bathroom stuff. But guess what? I went into it. I went there on this 30-day survival challenge. I got some great segments for you of bathroom time, how you go to the bathroom in the woods, how to use moss, how to pick the right moss, make sure you pick the pine cones out of the moss, stuff like that. And because the Dr. Squatch was one of the sponsors for this season's 30-day survival challenge, they provide us with all kinds of great soap. I've always been the kind of person who uses what's ever in my shower, which means more often than not, I showered with my kids' baby shampoo because I buy shampoo for them and soap for them, but I don't often buy stuff like that for myself. And so ever since the wife left, it was like whatever was kicking around from Christmas presents, things like that, or the kids' soap. But now I have the best soap ever. Dr. Squatch sells the best smelling, it's just, oh man. Is the video all messed up? Can you guys see me clearly in the... Okay, it's all framed up good. I looked over and the thing was all like scooted to the side here on this other screen. So, all right. No, that's just because of the... I don't know why. So, yeah, we'll get into that more. When I was out there in Patagonia for my 87 days, I used ashes to wash my clothes, and I put hot rocks in water. And I wanted to do that with Greg. Well, not with Greg, but when we were out there during the 30-day Survival Challenge Canada, and I was going to dig a gypsy well next to the lake and put hot rocks in. And in the end, once it was sunny enough, it rained a lot while we were out there. Once it was sunny enough, I just jumped in the water and swam around and scrubbed up. And we scrubbed up a lot while we were there, too, because we were sleeping at the beginning on the ground in hammocks, a.k.a. bear burritos. And you want to go to bed at night not smelling like fish as much as possible. You know, maybe they go down to the lake or something like that, and they get into where you would gut your fish a little ways off, but not like, I didn't want to wake up like, you know, something nudging my hammock to see if I taste good because I smelt bad. So hygiene in bear territory, I think, is a very important thing. Wet wipes. I do keep around here or at home, I keep an emergency thing of wet wipes, but mostly that's because I still have kids. And, you know, if they don't want to stop playing, they're younger, every once in a while, you know, the wet wipes come in handy. That or just wet wipes because they're all over their face. But also, you know, most of the time when I would do these survival things, after the first 5 to 7 days, your body changes and you're only going to the bathroom every 3 or 4. And then towards the end, like 6 or 7 days, you know, sometimes 2 days in a row, but for the most part, you know, without a large amounts of food, you know, you're not going to bed. You know, we were eating really well too, especially towards the end, in the middle and then towards the end. But like, you still only went to the bathroom every couple days. Look forward to seeing you soon. Hey, it's my uncle. They're on their way up this way soon. My Uncle John. Can't wait to see you guys too. All right. When are the new episodes? The new episodes of the 30-Day Survival Challenge will start in October and air all the way through Christmas. 3 episodes a week. The Greg Ovens episodes, I'm managing his YouTube channel. We're launching his new YouTube channel with the 30-Day Survival Challenge. Some of his episodes might be like 3 days in one and stuff like that, until he got better into the swing of the filming of it later on in this series. So I'm going to edit them and so that they are as epic as possible, so that each one is a great entertaining episode without any boring points in it and stuff. So I think we'll have a really good series here. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be in total because of that. But I think you guys will really enjoy Greg, and his he's a character, and he's very creative in his bushcrafting and his catching of fish, and just even when it comes to, I mean, this is a guy who, when he goes to trim his nose hairs in the woods, he takes a lit stick and snorts it to burn his nose hairs. I mean, he's got like some little trick for almost everything he does. It's like creative because he spends that much time in the outdoors. Love you and Bob. Season 3, 30 Day Survival Challenge. I want to do Season 3. I'd love to do something with Hansler. Bob Hansler and I have talked about doing a raft down the river. That like whatever it takes, maybe almost a month or something like that. I'm just waiting for the word from him that he's feeling strong again and tuned up and ready to do it. And the Wooded Beardsman and I have talked about maybe doing another little fall hunt or something like that down in Texas, all of us getting together, which would be cool. I would like to do a Florida thing this fall that would air like right after Christmas when the 30-Day Survival Challenge ends, and possibly a one in next year. If I don't get to do one in Alaska, maybe I would just do a short stint there in Alaska with the Kilchers, with Ivan or something. I would really like to do South Africa. It looks really neat. Air Arms SA, or Air Arms Hunting South Africa. He does a lot of just shooting videos, and I'm trying to get a hold of him, and I haven't been able to get through to him. He's super accurate with an air rifle, and that's kind of what got me interested into him, and using those more often and stuff. Let's see. A winter 7-day would be cool with snow around. I know, like a winter one, a winter 7-day wilderness living challenge or something would be awesome. I know my goal for Patagonia, when I was on loan, we were told there was going to be all kinds of snow, and I was like, oh, I'm going to like excel in living in the snow because I love living in the snow. That's what I do already at home, and that'll be my thing, and I'll be making snowshoes and sleds and all this stuff. So maybe if it snows early this year, I can do a thing up on my land or go somewhere. I want to do some deer hunting with the air rifle this year, and turkey hunting with the air rifle. Now that they're passing a law, allows me to do that. So I'm going to do some of those while we're airing the the 30-Day Survival Challenge. So when it's over, I'll have some cool videos for you from this fall here in Maine. We want to buy property in Maine at off-grid. Where would you recommend? Love Wadobo. I have no particular recommendations. If you want to buy property in Maine, it's all beautiful. I mean, I like being here by the ocean, but at the same time, it's like one of my dreams would be too is I'd love to have a cabin up north, because they're up there snowmobiling and having true winter, and we've been almost 4 years without any winter. And there's some serious winter stuff I want to do this winter, and that's going to mean that I got to go north if I want to do it. And I want to put a hole in the floor of the car and be able to go ice fishing out of the car. And I'm going to do a nice job of it. Don't worry, I'm not going to just hack it up. I'm going to have it cut, and then I'm weld a ring and a disc and a plate and a screw down cover, watertight, just like I would for a boat kind of thing. So that way I can go and unscrew it and sit right there in the car, drive up, unscrew it, drill the hole, and drop a sleeve down and sit there in the car. Maybe even put a grill out the window, put it in the right position, and I could throw the fish that I catch right there onto the grill and grill right outside my window, and then bring it in and have a plate and eat right there while I'm ice fishing through the hole in the floor. Maybe I'll even make 2 holes, so I pick up the Wooded Beardsman along the way, and we'll go ice fishing in the back of the adventure mobile. Or just bring my kids with me. They don't like the ice fishing when it's cold outside. I tried a couple times doing stuff like that out on the ice. But if we're in the car, they would be warm and comfortable, and might actually be able to get them into it more. They're still pretty little, so I'm not worried that they're so whiny about certain things just yet, because we're working on building up their resistance right now to adventure. I watched all the episodes of 30 Day Survival Challenge like 10 times. Like 10 times. Well, thank you for watching. How about Union? Union's beautiful. If you're thinking of buying a place, I like up to camp. Yes. That's part of the dream is to like have a camp up to camp on a lake, and it'd be so much fun to have a plane. But I'd have to have literally, because I'd like to, my delusions of grandeur, as it were, like I'd have a place on a lake down here, and that way we could, like, if we just wanted to go for an hour or two in the evening to go swimming and canoe around and catch a bass and, show somebody else, or grill some lobsters that we had just hauled from the ocean, and, somewhere to retreat to like that where it's a little cooler, because it's always like 20 degrees cooler just down the road by the lake, because the lake is just cooler. And then fly my seaplane up to north where my other camp would be or something. But I don't see that ever happening. LOL, ice fishing through the hole of your floor. I think that would be a fun video. Are you going to do commentary on the winter art? I will. I have not watched it because I didn't watch Alone. What is up? Wooded Beardsman? I don't know if he's still in here though. Apparently, I'm way behind on the comments here. So, I won't be doing a commentary episode per episode just because they don't go anywhere as far as views. I'm trying to focus this year more on doing the videos that making videos that get good views, so that the channel can grow and I can afford to make good videos for you guys when I get bigger and stuff. So I will try to add a little segment to this about and share with you guys my thoughts on it once I've had a chance to watch it, because I didn't want to watch it before I left for Canada and get like halfway through. I hear they've been eating a lot of food more than other seasons. It sounds like they were put in a place where there's a lot of game, and so they've had the opportunity to eat a lot, getting a moose and things like that, but also struggling with the fact that the moose is all protein. And once again, somebody leaving, I'm not judging because I don't know, but I guess left some of their fat out and lost all the fat to the moose, which is like, would have been my first thing that I would have processed and brought back to camp, I have to say. But I don't know, I wasn't there. I haven't watched it yet. I just know after as many times as I've done this that the hardest thing, and it was one of our harder things here, the same as what they're going through, is having lots of protein and not a lot of fat. It like, if you could eat fish every day and it might make you full, but it like tops up the tank only halfway. And so as that burns off, your body, to make up for those calories that you're not getting in fat, which is what you really, really need if you want to be full of energy, and why a lot of Americans are tired and sluggish, I think, because they don't have enough fat in their diet. Your body is burning your fat for energy. So you're constantly feeling like, if you're trying to survive without the right amount of fat in your diet, you constantly feel like, to a degree, that you just woke up from a nap. Or if you ever wake up and go to the bathroom, and for those of you that aren't old and don't nap very often, you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, roll out of bed. And it's like your limbs are leadened. And well, that's what you're experiencing when you have a diet that's just too much protein. It doesn't matter how much you eat of it. It's hard to choke that much down because your body is just like, it's not the full amount of what you need. And that's why vegetarians are usually sickly looking. The majority of vegetarians are not that healthy looking. They're like, oh, I feel so great and I feel so wonderful all the time and things like that. But you see them with like underarms that are like a little. Not saying that happens to all of them, because some people may be better at it than others at making sure they get enough fats, because they're getting fats from avocados, olive oil, things like that, and they're consuming enough fats, and so the elasticity of their skin isn't as bad. But I've known a couple of vegetarians, seen them at the gym, and just they're way too young to have a bingo wing, and I believe technically that's because of a lack of enough fat. That fat helps the elasticity of your skin and helps you to tighten up. And fat does not make you fat. Sugar that your body turns to fat to try to compensate for the fact that you're not getting enough fat is what makes people gain weight and be fat. And carbs and the sugars from carbs and things more likely to make you overweight and tired. Do you think you would go down to Florida and survive around the swamp? I think that would be awesome. I would like to do that. I want to, as talking about like trying only to do as much as possible. I mean, when you're doing a series, you can't help that I try to find something unique each day. Like I built a whole chess set for one of the episodes, and I'm probably going to release that during the 30-day survival challenge, but also make a 5-minute video later, or 3-minute, like whittling a chess set in 3 minutes video, because I won't like that. I see that as being like a very viral type video, and the more views I get, the more I help my channel, and the more I can afford to take the bigger leap on more creative stuff for you guys, and have the adventures and bring you adventures. So I'm not a huge fan of the hot stuff, so I was thinking this winter of doing something like a 7-day wilderness living challenge with the Wooded Beardsman down there. See if we can't get maybe Ace in on it. See if we can't get Ace up here to visit Maine and do some fishing up here. He's got some mad fishing skills, and I always feel like my fishing skills suffer. I learn a little bit more every time I go out fishing, of course, and I learned a lot from fishing with Greg Ovens. Guys are the mad fisherman, just like, because he's crazy good at it. So that was fun. And as you saw for the cover photo there, that was a sweet trout that I nailed on my fly rod there. That's just a 4-weight little Streamlight fly rod that I got from LL Bean before the challenge and took out there. And I was using flies that I had tied over 20 years ago when I used to be back into it. I'm going to try and do some more fly fishing this summer as well, try to get good at catch some lake trout down deep. People, if you have any questions, I forgot to say that. If you have any questions, leave a double question mark. It allows me with my dyslexia to pick up on it. Double question mark at the beginning, and stuff like that. I don't have any plans. A couple of people have asked me to take some trips recently. Like I'll charter, I do a charter service, and you can join me, and I'll take you out. And I wish I could do it, but I've already been gone a whole bunch this summer, and so I really don't want to go away again. And I have some great videos that I want to do right here at home. I haven't. I said I was going to do it before, and I haven't done the water wheel cell phone charger, bushcraft cell phone charger, and I really wanted to do that. I'd like to do maybe my fall turkey on the water wheel, which is going to take a bit of work because it overbalances with that much weight from a turkey, and I'll need some good current to keep that thing moving because to counterweight the counterweight. So I'm really going to try and do some of that stuff while we're airing the 30-day survival challenge. I see, that's the thing. Spoon making videos. I didn't really make a spoon, but I did make something pretty darn unique. You'll see it pretty close to the beginning because there was not good stick material for making chopsticks there in the Canadian Rockies, so I made tongs, and they're so easy to make, and they actually, it's like training wheel chopsticks, basically, by just taking the stick and cut any stick, piece of hemp, I think spruce most of the time was what I was using there, and you split the stick down, and you take another stick, and you cut it, and you put it down the crack, and it holds them open, and you have a set of tongs, and they work amazing. I was using that the whole time. I just kept making a different pair every 2 days and throw them in the fire. We struggled a bit with flies. It was that time of year was hard. It was either raining and there wasn't any bugs, or it was like the flies would come out, and because it was warmer, it was like, whew, you have to be on top of, your fish head soup. It spoiled on us a couple times. We ended up chucking it. You can eat anything if you boil it sanitary, boil it safe. But do you really want to? Once flies have landed in it and done their thing, no. Most of that was because we had this foolish pot that was just had some little breathing holes in the top. I don't know why you would want that. So I don't have any specifically spoon making videos that are in the cover photo, but one of my 87 days videos has a thing on it. And speaking of which, I did have one more segment for you that I was going to show you. An unboxing. Next time I'm going to pre-record this so I can get a nice down angle and multiple camera angles so I can just show it to you. But I got a package from, I'm not sure if they're an Amazon seller or what, but I'll put the link in the description below for some carving tools. See if I can cut it open without cutting them open. I thought I'd open them for you guys when we check them out. I'm still using all the Gerber knives that they sent me. I used them for the 30-day survival challenge, and ooh, that's nice. I'm loving the fastball. I put away my Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter, and this suits me so much better. That thing is so much heavier, and I really like this fastball. The clip does not tear up your pants pockets when it goes into your pocket. It doesn't open in your pocket if you don't want it to, and with the little blade, I can whittle with this, carve with this, cut boxes open with this, and it seems to really hold an edge. And the sheath knife, the Gator series one, is the one I used when I was out there, and that was really nice. Now, the company name is Beavercraft. It's got a nice little, just like a any Mora or whatever, small carving knife. Nothing too fancy about it, but simple is good. Simple and works well is the best, right? This is very cool that they sent me this, because I did have some spoon carving stuff besides my my multi-tool, which is just ridiculous if you're trying to carve too much spoon stuff with that. I mean, it's one thing in a survival situation when you have nothing but time. It's a beautiful, beautiful little spoon carver right there. And then we got a tool roll too. Nothing like coming home and finding you got a whole bunch of presents. I also got a standing paddleboard that was sent to me by a company, and some more goodies for the car. For the part 2 of building the adventure mobile is gonna have one. I'll put the ice fishing holes in the floor. I got a cell phone booster that goes in the car, so it should be able to quadruple your range. So if I do go North Country, I'll still be able to stay connected with my family without having to get a satellite phone like I did for the 30-day survival challenge. There's a nice spoon gouge, bowl gouge, something like that. I can't remember what you call it, where you can, it's not just curved this way, but curved this way too, so you can zoop. Let's see what's in the tool wrap. So if you just tuned in, and you're going to want to watch this again, but from the beginning, the first 30 minutes, I didn't answer your questions, and we just did, I shared you with different video clips with different segments to the new live show and how we're going to be doing this, and as it builds, I'll get better at this, so we can be a little more seamless and fun little segment intros, and I want to do some funny skits, some like I do in my videos, but have like a funny news broadcast to each one of them. Because that was my favorite part of Saturday Night Live. Who's with me on that? The favorite part of Saturday Night Live? The news. All right, so this is another little carving set from them. We got different tools, leather strop, a nice sharpening stone, I think, or no, what do you call that? Eyeliner. Get some eyeliner, rouge for your leather strop here, so that you can lap out your tools. And this one's a 1, 2, 3-piece carving set. I'll open one of them up. I'm gonna have some fun with this. The best part about being a unmarried man is I can sit in my living room while I'm watching TV at night. And, ooh, that's a nice little hook knife there for spoon making, with a tighter curve than the other one. And, I can sit there in the living room and whittle myself a slingshot or something, and nobody complains about it. I just have to clean up the mess in the morning. Ooh, there we go. That's a nice little smaller carving tool here, so I can just get right in there and do the small detail work. I'll have to think of something creative. I already did the whittled a whole chess set there on this during this recent 30 Days Survival Challenge, so Greg and I could play chess. Only thing that stinks is I wish I had thought of it sooner. I thought of it halfway through, and I whittled it in one day during the rainstorm, and because we were suffering from rain quite a few times during the time we were out there. We kept busy though. And another knife. That's a lot like the first one, isn't it? Except for the first one has a different handle for it. So that's a beautiful set. Thank you very much, guys, from Beavercraft. I'll put a link in the description for these guys and their knives. And see if I can put them away without cutting myself. And you guys can, and I'll let you know as I make something with it, how I like them. But already I'm excited because I did have a full set of these, and I don't know what in the world happened to them, but they just disappeared. I looked everywhere. I could not find them after our move from the yurt to here. I never saw them again. So now I'm fully set up with pretty much almost 2 sets. This full tool row, leather strop, rouge, and the 3 carving tools, bigger gouge, and a knife, and another spoon or bowl carving knife. Anyways, what is going on with you guys? What's your comments here? We got questions. How many fish did you think you got over the years? Oh, geez. Let's see. 63 fish and 2 birds during 87 days in Patagonia. Last 30 days survival challenge. The stats are on the back of the card. I mean, just counting the other day, I got 33 with Greg, and then I got a fish just the other day when my girlfriend Aubrey and I went out fishing, and so I caught a small bass. I was like holding it up, and like compared to that one that's in the cover photo of this for when I was there in the Rockies, it's like that's pittance. So I just put it back because it was so tiny. I had 9 fish in during the 30-day survival challenge in Texas. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if you've seen the series, you know that they even the smallest one was like 3 pounds, I think. So my biggest one took us like 4 days to eat, the giant catfish that I got there. So that was cool. And then random other fish. I don't catch fish well if the camera isn't on for some reason. Go figure. I've had a lot of getting skunked. But, of course, there's a big difference. Because, like, if I just go out and I'm trying to catch a fish, I get skunked, I don't nearly have as much time when I'm just going out and doing a little thing. But where I'm, like, making a video and I'm surviving, there's, like, so many more hours invested in that fishing that my consistent, persistent effort always means that I'm successful at some point. Here. Will I be making my own knife set? I would really like Gerber or somebody to get on top of working with me to make my custom bushcraft multi-tool, with the spoon gouge and maybe like a file and then a detachable sharpening stone file as well. All the tools that I would love to see in a multi-tool. I don't understand why there isn't one already. There's carving knives. There's all these different things. And there needs to be a bushcraft multi-tool. I've seen somebody that's making a bushcraft. They're calling it kind of bushcrafty multi-tool. It has like half the amount of stuff in it. And so it has that way it has a bigger knife. But, I mean, if you're really doing it, multi-tools are always the wrong tool for the job. But they do get the job done when you don't have the right tool for the job. How do we send stuff and items your way? On my website, there's a contact page, and I have a P.O. box just down the road that Chris checks every day for return packages from the website if something doesn't make it to you, so that we can get it right back out to you for some reason, and or people send me fan mail and things like that, which hopefully this whole segment here will, and doing these Wednesday Night Lives, I'm not sure if I'll be doing them every week or every other week. I have a couple other really unique things that I want to share with you, and somebody made handmade clay ammo for me, and when winter comes around, show you the new Borealis that somebody made me. I can't remember their company name. I gotta have it written down in front of me if I'm gonna show you that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna hold off till winter, and you'll see me probably wearing that in winter videos, because man, it's like this heavy duty wool, so cool. I've never owned anything that cool as far as jacket wise. I'm really psyched. I can't wait to play around with that. Definitely, yeah. Do a Kickstarter. Well, see, even with a Kickstarter, you need to get somebody to build it first, don't you? Because you can't just do a video of just doodles and drawings and expect it to go somewhere and be like, I need $50,000 to, So we'll see. I might do a sheath knife with a company before we get around to making some sort of a multi-tool. I really like the Gerber sheath knife that I've been using right now. They're from the Gator series, the Gator Pro, and I think my second favorite, or my first favorite knife though, is the Fiddleback Forge Bushcrafter. It's an expensive knife, but it is really, really solid. It holds the edge. It takes an edge when you sharpen it. It's a great knife. And yeah. But it's like but I'd love to see a knife made that's affordable, that I find really awesome as well. That I could work with somebody on that as a sheath knife that's like $100, that's worth $100 and then some kind of thing. How about a White Mountain adventure? Oh, if I had time to do all the adventures in the world, we'll see. Somebody's like, oh, do a 7-day wilderness living challenge in each of the states. How old would I be by the time I finish something like that? I'd be dead and gone. And there's more that I want to do than just wilderness living challenges and 30-day survival challenges. I have all kinds of fun. I want to do the tent versus hammock in the desert, and tent versus hammock above in alligator territory. I want to have specifically small certain video adventures like the Trick Shot Tuesday, more slingshot stuff, trying to beat that world record. I haven't been working on my speed shooting so much. I shoot a lot of cans out of the air for the fun of it these days. But I still want to break that Guinness World Record of how many cans you can knock down in a minute. Your own signature survival pack. Well, my own signature survival pack. Well, I do sort of have my own signature survival pack. If you joined us with the Kickstarter for the 30-day survival challenge, your signature survival pack will be coming. It's not so much as a survival kit because I don't really use that kind of stuff that's in a survival kit. So we made a kit based on all the stuff that I do use that I keep kicking around my backpack, and it's called the Possibles pouch. It's like when I go out, like I try to carry the right thing for the job. A survival kit I see is something that it would be nice to find in a cabin if you're in a bad way and you end up at that cabin, like and then like you open up the survival kit and there's a really nice foil blanket. There's two ration packs and two water electrolyte packs. You add water and they filter it or something like that. I don't want to tote that stuff around in my pack. I'm gonna have a water bottle and a pan and my like outdoor vitals or my war bonnet hammock tarp with me. So if I'm moving light, you'll see that in the wilderness. In the 30, man, I get the two confused all the time. In the 30-day survival challenge, we're up in the Rockies, and I had that kind of kit with me, not a survival kit, not a foil blanket. I think I will toss a foil blanket in there after that adventure and being stranded up there overnight from now on. But yeah, can you talk about someone who is interested in getting into the wilderness, living, fishing more, best steps to take and learn? I'm not the best teacher when it comes to even any of my videos. I kind of consider myself more inspirational. So like if you want to learn how to be hardcore, catch fish, then you're going to want to watch, Ace or the Wooded Beardsman, when he's fishing, stuff like that. And most importantly, worms and gills. Worms, gills, and grasshoppers catch you trout and or any other fish pretty much too. Map spinners. The best thing you could do is buy a nice map spinner and you put a worm on it and you fish that thing. 6 to 8 pound test. Nice telescoping rod. I still understand why when we have telescoping rods in existence, why people are toting around their fishing poles. We'll probably edit it out of the footage, but when Greg and I are hiking and having adventures, he's toting around his fishing pole and like catching on everything in the woods. And the funny thing is he was carrying an ugly stick, and the ugly stick broke down. It was a 4-piece breakdown backpacking one. It wasn't telescoping, but he could have had it in his backpack the whole time, and he's having it catch it. He's like, I was like, that thing breaks down? He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I just like it when it gets stuck on everything all the time. And I was like, at that point, we were both kind of fried, and I think he was giving it right back to me because I was giving it to him about not having a telescoping pole. But I love my telescoping pole. You guys can get the same one as I always use in my adventures in my Amazon store. That link in the description there. And if you're just tuning in, make sure that you go back and watch the episode from the beginning. For the first 30 minutes, it's different video clips and segments to the new way we're doing this live thing. And then we're going to, as it gets going, we'll be, from now on, these Wednesday Night Lives will probably be like 45 minutes or 30 minutes long, and then Q&A at the end. I love your videos and silliness and the fun you have. Inspires me to outdoor stuff, camping, and thank you very much, Dom. Thank you for the donation there. super chat, whatever you call it. He's orange because he super chatted. When you super chat and make a super financial thing for the super chat, you go orange. Or some other color. I think each time it's a different color. Turtles are cute and tasty. I added the tasty part. They just said they're cute. They are cute. And it's hard sometimes, to eat cute things for some people. I've never had a problem with it. I know they're cute, but I also know that God gave us all things to enjoy in moderation, and He doesn't want me starving. And if we are behaving ourselves within the hunting seasons and things that are laws are laid down, then turtles are protected in a lot of places. But the ones I have eaten have all been legal, and they taste good, just like, for the most part, like chicken. Almost everything tastes like chicken with just a slight hint of something else going on, except for raccoons. They taste like roast beef. My opinion on bear spray is, yeah, have it, because I did. I kept it in my pocket, right at my right hand, quick draw style, and I practiced even with the bear spray, intermittently, just to remind myself where it is, make sure the handle was facing in the right direction, and be ready to be able to grab it, pull it, flip it, and squirt it. I never pulled the clip, but I would bring it out, get ready, and go, and just be ready. If I came around the corner and I was face to face with a bear and he was in a bad mood, I did not want to meet my end. One time while we were out there, we walked to where the solar panels were to change out the batteries, and I forgot to bring my camera of any sort. I thought I had at least my phone in my pocket that I would use to fly the drone, and I didn't. And I told Greg, I said, "Do you have your camera on?" He's like, "No." I was like, "What if we get it? This will be the one time we run into a bear." I go, "If we run into a bear this time, I want you to let it have one swipe at me before you scare it off." Because I'll need some evidence and a sexy scar to prove that we did actually have a bad encounter. He laughed. I was serious, though. I don't know. I want my Jeremiah Johnson moment. You guys seen Jeremiah Johnson? He's in the cabin, and the old man has a bear chase him into the cabin, a grizzly, and he dives out the back, and Jeremiah Johnson, you hear a gunshot from inside. I want the epic moment. I wanted that in Patagonia, and they be careful of the boar. They're going to chase you. So I had trails everywhere, and then I had all these booby traps down the trail, so I'd jump over the pit with the spikes, and then I thought for sure sometime, because I filmed every minute I was awake there, so I thought for sure I'd be filming and a boar would be there, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's chasing me," and I'd running, and "It's chasing me," and I'd jump over the pit, and it'd fall in, and I'd have myself a boar. And delusions of grandeur. I am full of them. But I have enough delusions that I make some of them come true, and that's my adventure. Would you be interested in teaching survival bushcraft to some infinite soldiers from Fort Drum, New York? If so, I am stationed here and can set it up. I'm not a huge go places and teach people thing. So I do a little bit of that, but I do it for the Boy Scouts. Like at L Bean, they have events that they for supporting the Boy Scouts, and I do a little bit of that close to home, just in a small events here and there. I'm not really huge on taking off to go teach anything. I like speaking at a seminar or speaking and stuff, but teaching skills at a camp or a thing is not something I'm interested in doing. Can you go to Oregon West Coast thing? I'd like to. I believe it. You know what? I haven't really been on top of following it fully. I think Ace is out in California, so I'd like to go visit him and do some of this fun stuff that we see him doing there. The Woodbeards and I both want to. We've been talking with Ace Video and collaborating, and how we can, get out there and go see him. He's in my friends list here on YouTube. You can see on my homepage on the right hand side, the Wooded Beardsman, Bod Hansler, Best Damn EDC, and Ace Video. We're kind of like trying to build our own squad, kind of like the Guggen squad a little bit. So we're all working on putting out the spices, some new spices, so that we have our own spice, each of us, and then getting together and collaborating and/or challenging each other, maybe, passing the buck back and forth to share views and adventures. It's time for an adventure, bro. I just saw something behind you, man. Now that would be creepy. I just saw something behind me. Probably some sort of bug flying around. Love the channel. I'm in the house all by myself, so there better not be something behind me. Got me looking in the thing behind me, like some clown stick his head in there or something creepy. It would have to be like my apprentice Chris or something showing up just to mess with me one of these nights. Now that I said that, can you give me? You better not. He's gonna get. You're fired, Chris, if you try to pull something like that on me. Have you ever shot an elk? I have not shot an elk. I haven't even shot a deer. I been out a bunch of times, and just the opportunity never was perfect, and so hopefully remedy that this year and get one with the air rifle. What size ammo do you use? Right now, using my 50 caliber air rifle to go deer hunting this fall in November, but I used the 25 caliber, and I feel like I wish I had brought the 25 caliber air rifle to Texas with me more than the 50 cal, or just had the 50 cal the whole time instead of just 3 days before we had to leave to the second location, which had nothing that I was allowed to shoot with it except for those rabbits, which I just kept missing with that digital scope at night. It was just difficult to operate. So the 25 caliber, up using that in Canada, I missed one shot out of I can't even say how many. You'll see how many things that I got there in Canada. How many gophers, because that was the only thing that we were really allowed to hunt. Or I think we could have done crows, but there wasn't any. Would you want to go to Wisconsin? I have no burning desire to necessarily go to Wisconsin, just because it hasn't crossed my mind or anything. My next one is I really want to do Florida. Some sort of hangout with Ace and the Wooded Beardsman and Bob Hansler. Where we do that, I don't know. And then South Africa and maybe Alaska with the Ivan Kilcher for a couple days or something. Would you rather use a slingshot or an air rifle? It's actually, that's a good question. Slingshot or an air rifle? I should do slingshot versus air rifle for a video before we get into the 30 Day Survival Challenge. This could be some videos I was going to do some sort of Daisy Red Ryder versus modern air rifle with the Krell Puncher. The slingshot, you'll see how it pans out during the 30 Day Survival Challenge right now. When that comes out in October, it'll air from October all the way through Christmas, 3 episodes a week. The slingshot proved to be difficult to use there. There was a minimum of opportunities, and the gophers tend to dodge it. I did make use of it, and I did manage to get stuff with it, but I had a slightly more difficult time than usual about it, just because the opportunities aren't as prevalent, and there's so many more opportunities with when in a place with lots of game one, or just the longer range with that air rifle. 40 yards, just just boom, you got yourself whatever you're aiming at. That Krell puncher, I can stack up shots with that thing, in a dime at 40 yards. So, it's a great, 40, 50, even 60 or 70 yards. The way it's tuned up right now and my abilities, that's a go-to item for smaller game, even stuff supposedly up the size of a coyote. So, what would you use? I like, granted, there's more power and everything in a 22 rimfire, a nice rifle, but I really like the air rifle stuff, and I feel like it adds a new sporting aspect to it that I want to keep going with. I could always get a 22, but like, I really like the sporting aspect of the air rifle, and even though it's meant that I didn't do as good as I could have done in Texas when I could have easily had a rifle and then shot a deer, and the opportunity at the range and my abilities and having the air rifle for a short amount of time during the middle of that 30-day survival challenge in Texas meant that I didn't get a deer, and I missed the turkey because I had it on the wrong settings because of lack of familiarity with the air rifle at the time and just barely getting it. I screwed up. So it lost me some good meals. Don't you have family in PA? I do have some family in Pennsylvania. My auntie is down there. Is the Spartan Fire your favorite fire starter? That's a interesting question. Somebody's trying to wheedle the answer out of me to today's trivia for next week. If you leave it in the comments below, not of the live stream, but we're going to try and add a trivia to each one. Leave it in the comments below, not of the live stream, but the regular comments below after the video is over, or if you know how to get to there from here while you're watching the video. My favorite fire starter. So you'll have to figure that out on your own without trying to trick me. It is a $100 Amazon gift card. Next week, I'll pick one random person from the people that answered that question correctly, and I will send you a $100 Amazon gift card. Come to Florida. I'd like to come to Florida. We'll get there this winter at some point. Cold steel shovel versus shovel you now use. Well, I was thinking of that for a video. I actually agreed with the company that sent it to me. I'm supposed to do a cold steel. I'm going to call it a 100-year-old shovel versus modern survival shovel. And we'll show what the modern survival shovel can do versus a cold steel shovel. And honestly, after using it for a bunch of time, I'm not sure which one is better. During the Wilderness Living Challenge, I felt like that folding shovel from Ayuno was pretty awesome, and I was able to do a lot of stuff that I could not do with the cold steel shovel. So, I just don't know. And so maybe doing a video on that and doing some more direct, like against versus stuff, one against each other, I'd be able to finalize that decision. I did not take the folding shovel, Ayuno shovel, with me on the 30-day survival challenge. I took my regular shovel. I didn't see that there was going to be huge opportunities of shoveling and needing it. And just like anything multi-tool, I feel like the right tool for the job is always the tool that's designed for it. So I had my machete, my axe, and my shovel. So that way I could have the right tool for the job every time and not try to just, and a saw. So it's like, it's all about the best tool for the job. If you don't have a tool limit, then you might as well have the better tool for the job. And a multi-faceted survival shovel that can do all the things, it's never going to do any of them better than a tool that's designed to. But putting those survival shovel into my like the smaller one that they make is one of my favorites. I will pick that one any day of the week if I'm just going hiking to do a thing. or fishing, and I want to have a little shovel with me, even over my cold steel, because it's so much easier to go slip into the pack. It's the one that's in my Amazon store, the smaller folding one, not the one that I even used during the Wilderness Living Challenge, or the one that's strapped to my car even now as my emergency shovel that's strapped to the roof rack. Speaking of which, I got to upgrade those straps on that thing that's strapped to the roof rack before they cheap bungee cords rot off and the thing goes bouncing down the road and kills somebody. I think we're coming to the end of all our questions, and you guys are tired of listening to me since the numbers are starting to drop. So, in conclusion, if you're just tuned in, make sure you go back to the beginning. The first half hour was kind of a program. I had a whole bunch of different segments and things to share with you. Pictures from the, not as many as I tried to, because for some reason the slideshow didn't work, but a couple glimpses of the 30-day survival challenge, which will start airing in October. As always, the links in the description below for my sponsors and the gear that you see me using in the videos, either the gear and or stuff that I use for making my videos, which you can find all in my Amazon store, link below. Fowler's Makery and Mischief.com for the slingshots and shovels and other things that you see me using, and all that shopping below from the other company, Wazoo, Bear Bowl, those things, all those links are below. So and shopping those links supports this channel so that we can continue to make further awesome content for you guys. We're just looking at upgrading now after this 30-day survival challenge. We're adding an editor to my team so that we can I've been vetting people so that I can crank out more content. Somebody to pre-edit my stuff and or edit the series that we're going to try to do in the barn. This is like the start of that. When it's all said and done, will be a big, crazy late night show with guests and all kinds of cool things happening to it. So this is like the start of that. So hopefully this Wednesday Night Live, as we get going here and I get better with this system of adding stuff in and video clips. So thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. As always, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the main Wilderness Living Challenge. It was quite the adventure, and I will be bringing you new videos next week from around here, stuff I'm working on, catch and cook a blueberry pie out in the wild. I'm going to make a rock oven and cook a blueberry pie right out in the woods, stuff like that. And some Trick Shot Tuesday videos coming up until we start airing in October, the upcoming Canadian Rockies Survival Challenge that Greg and I just finished. We had a blast. We came back with all of our limbs. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Fowler out.